might notice that step is missing, that Harbor Freight step I always liked. It's pretty inexpensive. That snapped off the first night coming into Saline Warm Springs. I overshot the turn, went through a wash, and landed on a rock, and that thing just snapped right off of that. And then you'll remember I stumbled upon those people. I think it's Greg and Cassandra, really nice people, helped them out. And now I just bought a new one of these, and I figure I'll take it out of the box for you, do a little quick video. All right, the Harbor Freight Haul Master hitch mount bumper step. It's a 2-inch receiver. It's got a 300-pound load capacity, heavy-duty welded construction, they're saying, although it's all like an ABS plastic, molded from high-impact nylon. You guys see what's going on here. Not much to this unboxing, I don't think. But I know how much people love this sort of thing, so here you are. That's it. Simple as that. All right. See where that broke. And you know, I gave this thing some abuse myself, using it all the time, I suppose. But I spoke with my boy Dave about this, and you know, I hate asking Dave for favors because he helps me out so much. I don't feel like there's a lot I can do for him. He's the guy. You know, he's got the shop and everything. But it would be fun to make one of these. It's the sort of thing Dave could knock out in a couple hours. It would be done, and we'd have a really cool hitch receiver steel thing here that wouldn't snap off like this one did. And it could be designed to perform different functions. So I guess that's on deck. Hope you enjoyed it. All right. Found this next to my van. That's somebody's number, so go ahead and use that. And it probably wasn't directed at me because, I don't know, that looks like a dude's writing. But this is Los Angeles, so I don't know. Anyhow. The Harbor Freight jack stands, the Daytonas. Now listen, there was a thing for a long time, it's still a joke, about trusting Harbor Freight jack stands. Whoopsie. And it turns out that there was an issue for a short period of time there, but they've redesigned them, and they have added a safety feature, which I don't think most people probably use. Apologize for the yapping dog and the loud birds and all the other noises in the background. So, you guys know how a jack stand works, right? There's this ratchet mechanism, these teeth, and then this lever has a sharp angle in it that fits into these teeth, and the weight of the vehicle holds it in place. But what they did for extra safety here was they added a bunch of plastic that's annoying me at the moment, which I'd be able to cut with my knife if I hadn't lost it. There it is. Hey now. Hey now. Another song that'll go through your head like a nail and make you want to kill yourself. Like that Cars for Kids commercial. Who? Advertisers are the devil. Let's see here. There we go. So this will only fit in one way. It's got a flat spot on the bottom, and you'll see here there's a keyway. You call this a key, there's a keyway. There's a flat spot on the bottom of this right here, and this will fit in right there. And once that's in place, this can't fail. So there's your safety. And it won't fall out like that when you have it on a level surface under your vehicle. I'm about to use these next. I'm going to jack the whole vehicle up on stands, pull off all four wheels, rotate them, rotate my spare into the rotation, and with all the wheels off and it being suspended, I'm going to do a whole chassis inspection and play with my front brakes because I could hear a little rattling around. Something got a little loose on this off-road stuff, as you would expect. So I'll make that part of this video. Stick around. I hope you enjoy it. get to the rear. All right, so the pumpkin's off center on this. And it's been a while since I've done this, so I forget, but I think if I go to this side, I might be able to get both wheels up at the same time. I'm not sure. It's an experiment. Well, we'll have to do each side. They are both up off the ground, but not equally. And I'm using these jack stands, which will not be here forever, as you guys know. One, two, three. One, two, three. Let's go up here more. Alright. Should be good. Alright. I didn't put the safeties in, but I'll go ahead and do that now, because I got them. Might as well. Don't want to go do this whole thing and do as I say, not as I do. Alright, we should be pretty good here. And now I'm ready to remove the wheels. And I'll give you guys a whole visual of this, what's going on under here. I also got to take that spare down. Yep. So we're up in the air all the way around. Now, I'm not going to film me doing all these tires. You've seen it already. I've got the spare down already. This is going to be the new spare. This one tire gets a little rubbed because when I go into my driveway, there's a sharp turn that hits once in a while. So, the shop put these on pretty tight. Let's bump this up, I guess. There we go. I like to turn it down a little when I'm putting the wheels on. So man, they really put these on tight last time. I mean, I put these on pretty snug, but it never takes that long for me, usually, if I put them on last time. Yeah, that's never taken that long for me to get these wheels off. I'm going to leave all the wheels off. Yeah, it looks like they painted these for me. I think they put paint on these because they weren't black. Well, that was nice of them. I'll have to talk to Irvin about that. Anyhow, I'm going to place this tire back over here to remind me it's going to be the spare. I'm going to place this one down on the ground right here in the foreground. I'm going to get all the wheels off, and then that's what you'll see next as we give this thing a little chassis inspection. I got a little clank once in a while when I hit something up front. Last time that was the bolts for the idler arms that had backed out. This time I suspect it's a brake thing up front on the driver's side, so you'll know when I know. All right, I'm underneath here. I want to point out that, there is a drain plug right here on the other side of this front diff, so I'm probably going to drain that soon. I might wait till next weekend or something, and then replace the fluid. And I want to also point out that this is nice and dry right here. There's usually a drip of oil hanging right there, and I put the ATP 205 in when I was out there and drove it home, and that's the right thing to do. So there's a lesson for you. Yeah, we're golden all around here. I think that's residual from when it was leaking up front before. I'm going to wipe that off. What you see there going into the oil filter connection thingy there, those two tubes going in with that piece of aluminum with that nut between the two lines. If you use the ATP 205 stuff and you're just driving around town, it's not going to be enough. You need to take it on the highway, because I have not wiped that down. I haven't touched that, and it's way dry now, so I'm real stoked about that. I was messing with my brakes. So what's happening is I'm having this thing where when I hit my brakes, I can feel on the driver's side there's like a little clank thing going on here, and I can't figure out what it is because everything's hard bolted tight. I did find a little grease on one of the CV boots, and as I spun it, I don't think, I'll try to show you here. Hang on a second. I got to rotate this around while you're here to get an angle. There we go. So I don't think it's spitting grease, because that would really stink, but I think that was it right here was where I wiped it. I don't think there's a hole anywhere. It might have just bounced from some grease down here and then hit that, is what I'm guessing. So hopefully that CV boot's in good shape. But I'm grabbing everything here, all the suspension, looking for anything that could be loose, and everything feels tight. Whoops. Sorry about that. It feels tight. There is one issue that's been an issue for a long time, and that's the shock. So you'll see that the upper control arm comes in contact with the shock right here. The shock is dented. I don't like that. That Rancher shock's a little fat for this application, but it fits. So I want to talk to Gabriel about that and see if I can get a Gabriel shock up front, so I have Gabriels on all four corners. We have wetness here, but this is the power steering pump and or in combination with the what we talked about earlier, which is my, looking way up in there, it's wet, and I think part of it is just that Hydro Boost leaking. I need to pull that out. There's a splitter under the Hydro Boost with two lines come out, and it might be that one of them just needs to be tightened, but I need to work on that. I can see here the wear from the sway bar. You see the shininess on the sway bar there, so that means the sway bar was definitely shifting back and forth. The bushings on these links I don't like. They pop up here. This one isn't bad, but the one on the other side is out of whack. You can see that over there, the top one. So I might put some new bushings in that. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to grab things and shake them around down here, eyeball everything, and then I'm just going to put the tires back on and, you know, full send. Mainly I just wanted to rotate the tires. I haven't rotated these since I put them on, and it's probably been at least 5,000 miles. Every 5,000 miles you should rotate your tires, and always make sure to rotate your full-size spare in so it ends up with the same wear after a while. That's where the CV goes in. It's not leaking, it's just a little greasy, but that could be just from when I put them in last time, which was only like, what, a week or so ago? You guys can tell me better than I know myself. So yeah, I mean, look, if you're going to take a vehicle off-road, before you go, make sure it's in pretty good shape, and then when you come back, you got to get underneath there and inspect things so you know what's going on. So I'm going to go, like I said, I'm going to eyeball this. If I find anything, you'll see me telling you about that in a moment. And if not, you're going to see me in a moment with the wheels back on going, everything's cool. I'm going to go home and relax now. It's a Saturday. Although I really need to get into the truck here and organize, maybe get my air gun and blow out all the dust out of here. Find a place for that fridge. Yeah. Still real dusty back here. I'm going to hose this down. I got the Lifesaver jerry can. I will say this. what I found. It's what I thought out. The Lifesaver jerry can is $300. So that's no joke, right? Fridge, $270. Solar generator with solar panel, $600-700. So you're looking at grand, $1,300 or so. That's a lot of money. All right, I don't expect you to just run out and spend that money right now. However, if you do, if you invest $1,300 in a solar generator with a solar panel and a fridge, what that means is no more cooler, no more ice, water. All you need is a water source. You don't have to bring water. I saw a lot of these people on this trip, and they've been going there for decades, and they're bringing gallons and gallons of water. They're making runs out to get ice for their coolers. I like having ice for my drinks. Matter of fact, with Wonder Hussy, part of the deal was with her, we'd spoken on the phone a bunch of times, and I told her about this drink that I invented called the Tennessee Chola, which is coffee liqueur and honey Jack Daniels. And she's like, well, I want that. So I made sure I brought the fixings for that, and it turns out she had ice. That was perfect. It was so cool. I love her, by the way. I think I have a little crush on her. It's innocent, but you can't blame me. She's just such a cool person. But yeah, I have a crush on her. But yeah, every woman I meet that smiles at me that's genuinely nice, I kind of develop a crush on, like this childlike romantic, to be honest with you. But anyhow, I digress as per usual. Yeah, I was kind of shocked by that, because with all the years they've been doing this, they could have saved up the money to do it. Now, the great thing right now about solar generators, that technology, is just that it's changing. Every week there's new technology that's better. So I will upgrade. I just have like a 500 watt Blue Eddy, and I'm going to step it up. Likely the EcoFlow, that vitamin looks pretty good. The new battery technology is the iron phosphate, which is better than the lithium iron. So that's good. But again, I went to this place knowing there was a water source, knowing that there's drinkable water there. It is hot. It comes from the hot spring. But that's what's in my Lifesaver jerry can now. I didn't need to bring water. Fill that sucker up. I'm golden. As long as you could find a water source, a puddle big enough to fill a 5-gallon Lifesaver jerry can, you got water. And you can have your own power. And you can power all your stuff. You can charge. You can keep when I'm driving, I have the fridge plugged into the car. And, the 12-volt system. And I can charge the solar generator same way, from the 12-volt system from the van while I'm driving. The panels that came with this Blue Eddy in the sun, charge it. Like an hour or two, it's full charge. It's amazing. So I would suggest that you save your pennies and you go out and you invest that $1,300 in those three things: Lifesaver jerry can, solar generator with solar panels, and a refrigerator. It's going to make your life so much easier and better. And you'll be carrying less weight. And you're way more self-sufficient. I proved it on this trip. I'm very pleased with the choices that I made. So it's not like I went out and bought that yesterday. I'm not rolling in the dough. I'm not bringing in a whole bunch of coin right now. I'm kind of, for those of you who are curious, I kind of work like I'm semi-retired. I'm not putting in 40 hours a week. I'm just doing small projects for a few clients. I have this one main client right now, and it's enough to keep me floating. And I'm happy with that. There's a lot less stress in my life that way. So I have to wait on things and make things happen. And I save a ton of money by doing all my own work. I didn't spend a lot of money on any of the parts because I got lucky and a guy cleaned out a storage space and gave me a bunch of parts. So I had all the brake parts and everything. It didn't cost me any money. So it's not like I'm running around dropping a lot of coin on this stuff. It's mostly just my time. But then again, that's it for now. Hang on a second. You'll catch this when I put the wheels back on. Or again, like I said, if I find anything else. I'm all over the place. You guys are used to that by now. All right, so I do notice that when I grab the drive shaft, and I noticed this here. So if I grab the wheel and I just do this, Well, it's not doing it now, but you'll listen to it when I grab the drive shaft and shake it either side. I don't know. I mean, that sounds a little loud to me. It's only more on this driver's side. Everything's good to CV, nothing's loose there. But I suspect maybe there's play in the wheel hub assembly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the wheel back on. I'm going to grab it at 12 and 6 and see if I have any play there. If I do, that'll tell me that wheel hub assembly is shot. I replaced the one on the other side, but this one had been replaced when I bought the van. So let's do that test right now. All right, it's a little low for me to grab it. We'll give it a shot here in a minute. No, we're good. Yeah, we're good north and south, so I think everything's okay. I don't know if it bothers me. If I still get this clanking sound with my brakes, then I'll bring it over to Irvin and have him eyeball it for me. But I didn't see anything. You know, I eyeballed the brake pads on the rotors with the flashlight, spun things around, moved the caliper around. I don't see a cracked brake pad or anything in there. I think we're okay. We'll just see how it goes. I don't think there's anything serious that I noticed. I can't even tell where I hit anything. I did notice I got some new bump stops. These are the ones that come with the Journeys kit. And by the way, if you buy these separately online, they're about $20 less than what Journey sells them for, so you don't have to buy them from them. But these came to me for free from that dude, and this was bolted here from when I had the airbags, and this definitely made contact with this under here. I think you can see that that's not dirty. Right? It's dirty over here, it's not dirty there, which tells me that made contact with that. Thing is this one here is about the same height, a little longer, and I did want to lose this completely, and the bump stops are designed to hit here, and I don't know if that's too much travel, and I feel like I'm doing it more for a cleaner look, and I don't know if I'm going to do it today. It's not that important. But one thing I do have to do, and we all have to do if you're going off-road, is the breather tube stops right there. And I want to route that higher somehow. And then the same thing in the front. There's a breather tube for the front differential that comes out. Of course, I just covered it now with this tire by putting this tire on. But the front diff breather pokes out over the shock here. Sorry for turning you sideways. I know it doesn't make you crazy. And I want to bring both of those up, I think, inside the engine compartment, up by the battery. Like run a super long one from the rear that way. I don't know. I could run it right inside the cab of the body too if I wanted to, which is always a possibility, but that's something I'm going to have to do at some point. So that's going to be it for now. I'm going to put the wheels back on and go home. And I mean, I got to clean my pad, man. It's like a bomb went off. Yeah. Thanks again for being here. Come back again, you know, if you feel like it. If I haven't annoyed you with the last video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Be good to one another. Bye.